my Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your Timeless True Love read, being recorded in June. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, now on Kindle. The Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you know my fishies, you can call me Mal. I'm a Pisces moon, and I'm damn proud of it, born on a full moon, sun in Virgo, moon in Pisces. And I always save you guys for last, even when I do it by element, you guys always seem to be the last. And you know, just when we thought our chance had passed, I went and saved the best for last, and that's usually how these roll. So very happy to be finishing out this series. This is one of the timeless series that I do here on my channel. There aren't a lot of them, right? There's only like, I think this one and the Soulmate reads. I'm done with Twin Flame reads. And if you watch Matt Kahn's video in the link in the description box on soul contracts, you'll see why. That being said, let us get down to business, shall we? We are doing essentially what I call an augmented Celtic Cross, right? Basic 10 card spread, but we're using a hell of a lot more than 10 cards on this. We're going to start with 2 Caroline Myss Archetype cards, which will show us what's going on in terms of your own archetypal schemata on the path of true love. It's a true love read. The path of true love is your hero's journey, your spiritual path, your healing journey, seen through the lenses of your relationships. Now, the path of true love read is always about romance and sexual relationships. That's why I do the romantic soulmate timeless reads as well. But my guides know exactly what you want to know about. Usually it's like, yeah, it may go back to your mother and father, but you don't want to hear that on YouTube, and I get it. So this time around, there have been quite a number of these romantic sexual vibes going on here, but we shall see. So let's have fun with this, shall we? It's the last read of the series, as I said. And then I'm doing the new moon to full moon reads, which are timed readings, right? Got to get those out before new moon in Gemini hits next week. Otherwise, I just have a couple of things to say. It is a general read, you know that, because you've been watching videos of readings for a while here, and I don't see any sense in anybody doing a thumbs down on any reading on YouTube, because it's a general read. When I see that somebody has a thumbs down on a reading, it's either the immaturity of it. Well, I mean, right? It's like you either don't get that it's not your read and you're angry about it, or it is your read and you don't like what's there. Honey, I'm 52. I've been around this block a few times. I'm well aware. So even if it's not your reading, thumbs up, not just for me, but for anybody, because we're all working our chakras off to do this. So other than that, all the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box with lots of educational and entertaining links on the way down there. Both feet on the floor. If you can, focus on your breath, if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can from my pantheons of the divine, because we all need some clarity, guidance, and grace on the path of true love. Because, my darlings, the course of true love never did run smooth. My ex-boyfriend Billy wrote that. Hundreds of years ago. Shall we get down, or I should say up in this gig? Let's, all right? Both feet on the floor. Let's see well, here's the thing. People have been giving me feedback on these readings. It's like, but I wasn't the cover card. I was the cross, right? So the roles may flip-flop around this, and this would be good for cross-watching. I'm realizing because of that. So, of course, take what resonates, blah, blah, blah. Fuck it. Let's do this. Breathe. Yeah, it's a Friday. I got so much on my plate today. Already had a business meeting, meditated, did my Course in Miracles, did my Wim Hof, my yoga. I'm ready for it. Even showered, hence the wet head. I hope you don't mind. I got a little wet. Breathe. Don't you guys understand the reason why they show me so much is because I don't take myself too seriously? So here we go. Oh, this feels good. My collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of true love, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. Please What is the dominant archetype for this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading on the path of true love? And whether this is the cross watcher or you're going to have to figure that out in a general read. But I'm going to read it as though the Pisces is in the first position down. So please, what is the dominant archetype in their 8th chakra, getting ready to incarnate down through the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacrum, and the root into physical form eventually, on the path of true love? Who's crossing this Piscean on the path of true love as well? Let's see who we've got. It's like a fucking... I've been talking about this archetype with people all week long. Now, look, I got to tell you, it's already in the title, so you know what it is. So if you're here, thank you, because we are dealing with two very, very powerful archetypes here, and very much about where we are on planet Earth right now. The vampire archetype. Now, look, all archetypes are neutral. Like, I don't care what they sound like, even if they sound wonderful. That means their lead, their toxicity, their shadow side is just deadly, right? And so we've got the vampire and the martyr. Who wants that? But I gotta tell ya, if there is a codependent thing going on the path of true love, and again, we don't know that this is necessarily romantic sexual just yet, at least I don't, this is something that as you heal it, really alchemizes your own lead to gold, either one, really, the vampire or the martyr archetype, so that you can really be true in love. True in love ever be, unless thy lover's false to thee. Thank you, Doreen Virtue. Not Doreen Virtue, Doreen Valiente. Boy, they're really different, aren't they? So let me read you about the vampire archetype. Now, if I can remember, I should really make a note of it. I have a video on YouTube that was once on Vimeo of a lecture that I did, oh God, what was that, 2016, 2017, called Vampires and Witches, right? The wise way of dealing with vampires and the archetype. And we go into the Celestine prophecy and the control dramas and codependency and all that stuff. So check it out. I'll try and put it in the comments below if I can remember it, because I'm 52. I know I don't look it. Thank you. So the shadow attribute of the vampire we are aware of, but I want you to like keep in the corner of your mind, why are vampires still so damn popular? Because they are a reflection of what this shadow is talking about, depleting others for your psychic survival. Chronic complaining and codependency. I would rather be nibbled by rats than be in another codependent contract, and I'm done with them. I've cut them all out of my life. I did my own healing. You do you, I'll do me. Don't cross my path again, or it's Ashwood to the heart. You know what I'm saying? The originals. The vampire dairies. Vampiric cows. The light attribute. What is available here in the light? For me, the alchemized vampire archetype, I call the vampire slayer, right? BuffyVanHelsing.com. The light attribute makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. This is such a thing on the path of true love, and we all face vampires on the path of true love, like sometimes our parents. Born into it, bitten before you can even talk sometimes, right? So we all have a touch of that, and you can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? Eau de toilette, cologne, perfume. So this one tends to come and go from my life, but my father was a vampire. God rest his soul. But if you knew my family history on that side of the family, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that do make sense. Codependency is a form of addiction. Just as deadly as any other kind, though a different kind of deadly. You end up resenting the person because you don't have control over your life. So chronic complaining for me is a dead giveaway. I'm dealing with a vampire nowadays. I learned the hard way. I dated a bunch of them, threw them out in the sunlight, decapitated them, and staked them in the heart. That chronic complaining, it's like, well, what if you tried this? No, that won't work. No, that won't work. Why? Because as long as they keep you at a low vibration with their complaining, they can drain off of you second chakra to second chakra. Read my book, Words of Grace. But to be aware of that. Now, like I said, I did a 2-hour workshop on this. I could do a 2-week workshop on this because I was raised by a vampire. You didn't know it, right? Jungian psychology was not part of the schemata in my upbringing. That's something I had to find out for myself. So who's crossing you here is the Martyr. Now, the Vampire is the wild card, right? The wild card family of archetypes. It's the ones that don't quite fit into any of the other 8 families. But the Martyr is not. The Martyr archetype, I know it sounds horrible, but when you get what the gold is on this one, you're going to see triumph. So regardless of which one you are, you may not know which one yet, hang in there with me. The shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. Now that's the common bond. An addiction of some kind. Codependency is a form of addiction. So we have that as a baseline here. But, you know, it's, oh my God. I can't live if living is without you. How can I breathe without you? Inhale, exhale, repeat. Oh, please, right? So this codependent romantic bullshit has been in our lives forever. But this might not be romantic just yet. The Martyr archetype, as I said, addiction to self-pity in the shadow, but in the light, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. And what if that cause is your own healing? Either side of this you may not know yet, but that's okay. We're going to lay more cards down. We're going to take Daughters of the Moon Tarot to get you the heart, throat, third eye, crown energy on this. The world behind your eyes, your personal level of power that this archetypal pattern is downloading into, right? So it's sort of like the software, right? Yeah, the software downloading into the hardware of your nervous system, heart, throat, third eye, crown. And then we will take the Mythic Tarot and clarify those for what this looks like on the outside or what is affecting the root, sacrum, solar plexus, giving you all 8 chakras. And if you're not familiar with the eighth chakra, go read my book. Shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Because this is going to be hot. I have a feeling. My goddesses of water and the sign of Pisces. Artemis, Diana, Hecate. No, Kirke. All right, I hear you. Artemis, Diana, Circe, Kirke, Vayaya, please. 10 cards, Celtic Cross for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus on Path, a True Love read. What has this vampire got going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown. There it is again. I forget which reading that came up on. Let me get this one and then we'll compare and we will take that one. I don't usually take flippers, but you both got Major Arcana cards. I'm such a Virgo. It's like, excuse me. Technical difficulties, please stand by. The vampire archetype with the coyote woman. In this deck, Daughters of the Moon, because it is a feminist deck, there isn't any patriarchal imagery like the devil, right? That's a patriarchal archetype. Instead, here we have coyote woman, right? And I don't know if you can see, there's that shadow there, right? So there's shadow work here. Now, I would say if you are doing shadow work, alchemy, spiritual alchemy, any kind of therapy dealing with past trauma, alchemizing lead to gold, toxic to healthy here, then you are really moving into that being hyper aware of of someone or something that is draining your life force. And certainly if you're dealing with a martyr, someone who's addicted to self-pity. I mean, I was raised with vampires and martyrs, man, and I'm a Pisces, so I can see myself in this, but I no longer drain people. I go to Source every day. I fill up. You should see my spiritual practice just to get ready to do these readings. Of course, I got to get fatutzt. I'm Leo rising, right? But, you know, martyrs be like, no, you go ahead. You go live your life. I'll just sit here in the dark with a peanut butter sandwich. Right? You know, it's like, come on, cut it out. Knock it off. Open your heart chakra, right? And what does this martyr have? The Wheel of Fortune, the Spider Woman. So interesting. Of these 2 cards, you've got both animal women, so to speak, Coyote Woman and Spider Woman. So a coyote and a spider walk into a bar. One chews the other's leg off to get away. Oh, that's so coyote ugly. So look, there is definitely a fated thing going on here, something written in here. But this martyr is starting to evolve. Get that this contract, whatever the soul contract is, whether it's twin flame or soulmate, those are really the only 2 kinds. Watch Matt Kahn's video. You're going to really see that your soul was chosen to play the role in this life in order to heal something really big that is being healed on the planet. But as one of us heal, all of us heal bit by bit by bit. So with 2 major arcana cards going down, this is a big deal. You've been dealing with a lot of false love, and I think both of you have. The thing is that the pain that you might be in that is causing you to either drain each other one way or another, because the martyr is the divine family archetype, right? So this martyr totally has that ability to rise above this, right? The transcendent nature floating through the air with roses, right? Connecting and tapping into divine love. Well, it is time. It is time for something to move forward here to evolve. And certainly, you know, there's another devil card in this deck called oppression, which are more the chains. This is about the shadow, the stuff we don't want to look at. And if you are watching one of my readings, chances are you're already on your healing path. Let's at least put it that way. Consciously, I tend to draw people like that to my channel. Because I've been doing this for way too long to just give you code words. And the energy on this doesn't feel so horrible. Chances are one or both of you are really doing the work that's necessary. But with 2 major arcana cards, that's a lot. My goddesses, please, what's at the core of this that they can't see? Now, in this deck, the 8 of Wands is called the 8 of Flames, right? The element of fire. It's called burnout. But it's not that classic burnout of I overcommitted, unless someone's being drained here. Unless you're both drained so dry. But that's not what I'm getting energetically here. What I'm getting is there is this fast-moving desire inside of you. Think of a wildfire. You keep calling wildfire. Shit, I will have that stuck in my head all day. Oh, clairaudience for fun and profit. So there is a very fast passion here between the 2 of you, but understand that passion could also be anger. Not really getting that, but it feels like that's something that you both share here. Now, you could say, oh yeah, communication's coming in, you know, 8 of Wands code word there. But I don't get that here necessarily. As there may very well be a burning passion and desire, but that can also manifest as rage and anger. So you got to take that as it resonates. If you are dealing with somebody who is draining you or just martyring you to death, so to speak, there can be a lot of rage in there that needs to be expressed. But how do you do that in a healthy way? Let's keep going. What's behind them on the path, please? Another major arcana card, the Hermit. So anybody who's working the Hermit, heart, throat, third eye, crown is definitely in a healing place, right? Pulling back, clarifying, which leads me to think, remember, I'm reading this as the Pisces, even if you're the martyr. You know, the martyr is part of the Pisces gestalt. In archetypes, it's the 12th house, it's that last one, but it is intensely spiritual. But my sense is if this is you, you've already started doing the work. Going deeper in and higher up, seeing things from a larger perspective. And look, even if you have the vampire archetype full on, lifelong, it's nobody's fault. It's just these patterns. See, it wasn't called codependency back in the hunter-gatherer days. It was called survival. Screw your dreams, right? the winter is coming, right? Didn't have time to pursue your own dreams and your heart's desires, so you put them to the side for the greater good. We don't have to do that so much anymore. And if people are trying to control you and steal your flame that way, not great. So if that is the case for some of you, there'll be a lot of anger inside that's getting ready to express itself quickly. Maybe throwing someone out in the sunlight, or calling them out as a martyr, you know. But already you've established some safe and sacred space for yourself. My goddesses, please, what's in the 5th position here? The crown, what hovers over all of this that could come into being? Pele, the volcano, all of this is going to express itself. It's coming. You're being given a warning. You can diffuse this without repressing it, but that's going to take what? Becoming aware that someone or something is draining your life force. They're starving. You're just available, right? If that is you in the light. Or, you know, there is some real anger here, but don't forget, if you are the martyr here, that you can either play the self-pity game, which is just going to drain everybody else around you. It's like a tug of war. Oh, read Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. I mentioned it before. There's even a movie, but the book is obviously better. It always is. The 4 control dramas. Chapter 4. God, I'm a teacher, ain't I? Because this is getting ready to blow, honey, but it's in the 5th. right? It's in the 5th position. It's hovering over the head. Know this, that you can really do the work here, do the alchemy here, to understand that the only reason anybody's draining anybody is because they're depleted, because they're sourcing this way horizontally instead of this way vertically. I hope that makes sense. Comment if it does. Right? Are you in alignment with your stars? Abraham Hicks, White Courtesy Telephone. Let's keep going. What is before them then? What comes of this after this 5 of Flames? You've got 4 major arcana cards in the horizontal axis. The High Priestess. Here is the crone in this deck. The mother is the Empress Mawu, and this is the High Priestess Isis as maiden, right? So it feels like your alignment is coming into place. I mean, I was a high priest of a coven for a really long time, one of the largest covens on Long Island at the time, and I know what it means to be a high priest, right? You become a vessel through which the divine speaks, works through. Sometimes you don't even know it. They just co-opt you. Words fly out your mouth. The only thing that's changed about that for me now is the way I do it, though I am no longer affiliated with a coven. Never again the coven times. Too much politics for me, thanks. I do it with clients and with friends who are in need, right? So I kind of feel here you coming into alignment, because you know what? The High Priestess can't be drained, right? She is one with the Mother of All, and the Mother of All gave birth to the Tao. T-A-O, not D-O-W, that's a chemical company. But maybe that too. Well, I guess that's part of everything. So a real alignment here, and you really, really being aware of your own energy and certainly keeping things secret. Keeping your own knowledge hidden here, whether you are dealing with this vampire archetype or the martyr. So again, to make the point, in the past, you've got the Hermit. In the present, if you had the vampire archetype, you've got the trickster, one of the 2 devil cards, right? If you are the martyr, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Spider Woman, fate, alchemizing a destiny from fate, and we got a position for that coming up. And the High Priestess, 4 major arcanas. This is a big deal. This is a path of true love reading. You bet your sphincters this is a true love read, because how else can we possibly experience true love until we have alchemized the pain from all of the false love, the conditional love, the addictive love, the codependent love. This is really talking about your divinity coming in, and honestly, I could see that happening for both of them. But I think you two really need to communicate with each other. But right now, it's looking like it's going to come in as blow their fucking heads off. Verbally. Or maybe not, right? 5 of Flames, a card of conflict. But in this deck, Pele the Volcano, if you ever go, I've never been to Hawaii in this life, and you go to Pele's Volcano, don't take the rocks. Look it up. Bad mojo big time. She will ruin you until you return it. In fact, people, I hear that state park in Hawaii gets like all these rocks shipped back to them every year. Yeah, don't do it. Don't mess with the lava mother. So as intense as this is, what's really helpful, a lot of people don't know this, is the staff, is the 4 running up the side. These are the universal influences. So please, my goddesses of water and the sign of Pisces, Artemis the Amazon, Diana the Empress Mother, and Kirke, Sorceress Witch, please, what is the lesson you would have them learn in all of this on the path of true love? 6 of Pentacles on the inner success, breakthrough, balance, moving forward, but success under handicap, right? Again, this card comes up a lot in these reads this time around. It's a Special Olympics race kind of sort of. Anybody who's in the race wins. That's like so important, and that's true for all of us. Anybody who's like just doing their best to move forward is a winner here. But this is about balance. It's about that equal give and take, and that's the lesson I think you're both learning. But this is your lesson to be learned, and something that you might not be talking about as this healing continues for you. Definitely something mystical going on here. All right, my goddesses, from the outside looking in, how does this feel? Heart, throat, third eye, crown. Seven of Blades, different than the Seven of Swords, you know, deception and all of that. This is a card called meditation. It is about stillness. It is about awareness. It is about finding, sometimes for our own self-preservation, being drained or not drained, just being still. Now I'll show you. Here we have, I believe, an Inuit. A hunter, fisher, female. It's a feminist deck. And you see how she's got that spear in her hand, hovering right above the hole in the ice fisher, which are woo-woo. I was raised by a nursery school teacher. They're called woo-woos because they go woo-woo-woo-woo. Right? It's like the moment that fish breaches. So there is a sense of waiting here. Maybe to stake somebody in the heart, but you're not letting on about it. I will say that. Things are being kept secret. You know, if you watch that video, you're going to see there are lots of different ways to slay a vampire, but there's only one way to heal a vampire, and that is to slay the vampire that sired them, symbolically speaking. It's called therapy. The power that they hold over you. My goddesses, what's going on here then? In the ninth position, hopes and fears, the destiny to be hewn from fate, what they can do with what they cannot change on the path of true love. The Sun card, right? Throw them out in the sun. This is about your light. This is about your light being the most important thing inside of you, and it's not dependent upon anybody else in this position. I am light. I am one too strong to fight. Now go away and leave my sight and take with you this endless blight. Go back to darkness where you dwell. You cannot have this Halliwell. Witch work. Your own happiness, your own light. Now here's the funny thing. Light is what we are, right? Spirit, truth. So truth needs to be spoken here, but you're still finding your own. And when you get that, only I have to feel good about my choices. I say to people regularly now, I didn't incarnate for you. I incarnated for everybody, all right? So stop trying to drain me. I'll bottle you, right? Very powerful, your own happiness that can't be taken from you. But certainly when somebody is draining, this is in the video. See, when I find somebody's draining me, vampirically, let's say, parasitically, I play pop the tick because they can only steal energy. So what you do is you just like go, yeah, they splatter, they pop. And remember, vampires die screaming. So I hope you're doing the alchemy if you are really that vampire, but with that coyote thing, there is if you look at, see, again, I haven't been coughing all morning. When I sit and do these readings, and that was a real wet cough, there are some emotions that need to come from the heart chakra up and out of the throat. It may be a bit passionate. Remember, passionate can be rageful. But look into Native American, I don't want to say mythology, theology, I think is the word I'm looking for there. That the trickster teaches you something that there's no other way that you could have learned unless you were deceived. Tricked. Very Mercury retrograde, ain't that right, Hermes? Look at him staring at Diana there. That's a wonderful card to get there because we know the sun. By the way, if you don't know who Terry Pratchett is, brilliant author, God rest his soul, Carpe Jugulum. Really good. Everything I really needed to learn about witchcraft, I learned from Terry Pratchett. Last card down, at least, of this layer of it, please, my goddesses. Oh, my goddesses of water on the sign of Pisces. What a busy morning it's been. Please, one card in clarity for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign or cross watcher watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the outcome? Heart, throat, third eye, crown here. Most probable outcome timeline of this lifetime. The Phoenix, the Death card, or the Undeath card, rising from ashes rather than falling to them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 cards are major arcana. This is a big deal. This is life-changing to the point where I'm even going to say it doesn't matter whether the two of you work this out between you. only one of you needs to heal here, right, in order for this to happen. So again, whether you're the vampire or the martyr identified here, or both, so far at this point, only you can know that. But to know that this ends completely transformed. And I have to say, every reader reads differently, but when they keep saying, oh, it's a death card, it's the end of something. No, it's the 13th card. The world card is the end of something, the end of a cycle. It is a transformation. Sure, how it used to be is no longer the same, but this is alchemy. This is shadow work. This is going to ashes and being reborn. Dark night of the soul, which the whole planet is still in right now, right? So, look, you're going to end up as the Phoenix, heart, throat, third eye, crown, a real healing inside of you. They're giving me that image, Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, like a horse walks on the stage, it goes zoop, and there's bugs underneath it, just shedding this. But the thing is I call it TNS, Teflon Neck Syndrome. Once you understand that there's a vampire in the room, even if it's you, don't even bother trying to explain dynamics to a vampire. You can hold up the mirror as much as they want. They can't see it. It's in the video with vampires and witches. Don't bother. I feel like what you're doing here is going within, or at least you have been, keeping your mouth shut, really going into your own spiritual practice, at least on the inner, and it brings you balance and success, right? Finding your own happiness. You cannot drain the sun, the central sun of your heart, right? And kind of waiting for the right moment here. Feels pretty healthy, actually, considering the archetypes on the table. But then again, for some of you, you're both in the light here. You've been through hell, you've healed, you're moving on, and there's even further transformation and healing ahead. Mythic Tarot, let's see what this looks like. Root, sacrum, solar plexus, the physical world. Now, the two ways that can play itself out, and it can change from card to card, either looking at you from the outside looking in, depending on who you are here, or some aspect of the physical part of this that would hit you, root, sacrum, solar plexus, the three that really manage physical power in the world. Breathe. Now we're going divine masculine, my gods of water. And the sign of Pisces, please. 10 cards. Let's clarify this. For the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I'm watching this video, receiving this reading. We've got the vampire with the coyote there. What does this look like on the outer, please, in some way, shape, or form? The Fool. Dionysus in this deck, my personal god. You can't really see it, but I've got a grapevine pentacle tattoo on me. Never leave home without it. So yeah, you're ready to move forward into something. You're ready to take a leap of faith. I would say then that everything that you are going through right now, heart, throat, third eye, crown, yes, there is a trick that's being worked through your energy system here. In order, it's like bait. Any shadow work that you're doing is freeing you up for something brand new, the beginning of a new cycle. Liking that a whole lot. For this martyr with the Wheel of Fortune, the Spider Woman, my gods, what does that look like on the outer, please? Another major arcana card, the Star. Come on, the Star and the Fool, this is a destined thing. Look. Codependency is not a sin, it's a wound. There are 4 ego wounds, meaning that they are not of the soul, nor the personality, they're of the ego, and those 3 things are not the same, though they are on a spectrum. The ego is the most dormant part of the soul that is completely forgotten. It's all fight and flight, it's all about fear. The soul is all about love, it's eternal, it knows it doesn't die, right? So it's not really afraid of vampires so much. You can't drain the sun. But this soul contract, whatever it is allowing you both to shed a lot of the pain that was in place before you even met each other. I like this. I like this for us. I'm down for that. I'll even claim that, yeah, I've had the vampire archetype, but I am a fucking slayer. You come for me with even if you don't come with fangs bared, I have enough garlic in this house. I'm a quarter Sicilian, right? We got this 8 of flames. Definitely some passion building up here. And with that 5 of flames at the crown, this could go either way. This could either be like, I love you so much, but we need to help each other heal through this, right? It's like there are dynamics here that I'm just triggered as fuck. But the vampire hunter, let's go on the light side there, is like, yeah, but I want to give it a shot. And they're like, you're everything I've ever fucking wanted. This is romantic sexual. So what is this 8 of flames on the inner that they can't see? What is that looking like? Root, sacrum, solar plexus. Yeah, 7 of wands, defensiveness, right? But also going through the motions. This card, the 7 of wands in the Mythic Tarot, is about Jason and the Argonauts getting the golden fleece, the quest of the golden fleece. They already have the golden fleece. They get that in the 6. This is them now trying to make their way home, right? Going through the obstacles, having to protect and defend and duck and weave and bob. So this is not an easy conversation that the two of you are going to have. You might both be very guarded, maybe even repressing it. But it's like, no, everything's fine. Which is a total hallmark of codependency, denial of your own emotional reality because it might upset somebody else. Yeah, that means you're not being authentic. You're essentially deceiving each other. It's vampiric as well as martyrish behavior. So I get that. This is not going to be an easy conversation. And wait till we get here. I'm going to see what that looks like on the outer. But let us not forget this magnificent horizontal line of very powerful major arcana. The wise one, deeper in and higher up, riding a gray horse, not a pale one, that's death. This is the Kaliach. It's Kaliach. Right, hovering over Stonehenge or something similar, seeing the larger GPS POV. GPS POV, E-I-E-I-O. My gods of water in the sign of Pisces. What does this look like on the outer? Queen of Cups. Scorpio card. Somebody's keeping silent here, has been, right? Now, if you, I would suppose maybe this could be a family dynamic, but I don't think so. Oh, right. We're in Mercury retrograde at the time of this recording. This could be somebody coming back around that has drained you before. And so you're really like, is this a trick? Am I being tricked? Am I being lied to? Am I being deceived? Am I deceiving myself? Well, this conversation that's being held down will clarify that. But certainly you've got your own internal wisdom here. The crone, regardless of age or gender. That Hermit card is about gleaning the wisdom that is already yours. Now, I have this sign over here. It's a little subliminal. I know it's hard to see if you're on a little teeny tiny screen. Some drink at the fountain of knowledge. Others just gargle. I swallow. So what is wisdom? It's not knowledge. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. So you've been to this rodeo before. You've had your neck bitten. If you are in the vampire here, you've done a lot of healing on it. You're ready to try something new, but you are so not sure if you're walking into a trap here with this martyr. Maybe they're drainers, but I feel like with that Wheel of Fortune that there has been growth. There has been, it's in that light attribute of the martyr, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself for a cause. Well, maybe they've been serving themselves instead of sourcing off of others, right? So this is the only card here with all the major arcana. This is the only one that's concerning me because pressure is built up. Molten magma. I am pretty sure that came up in like one of the other water reads, either Cancer or Scorpio. I just don't have those cards written down. If you know which one it was, please comment. So my gods of water and the sign of Pisces, that crowning card there. With 4 of Swords. Good. So it seems like this conversation's not really ready to happen yet, which I'm okay with, right? It's like introspection, rest, healing, because your nervous systems are inflamed. One of you or both of you. Matt Kahn, he will be the last card down. You know, I love my Matt Kahn. Never met him. Mr. Genius Sweater Vest with Kale. I adore him. Never met him. Love his work. he says that the ego is the personality that arises out of an inflamed nervous system. He's expanded upon that quite a bit. But what are you like when you're tired, when you're overloaded, when you're inflamed, when you are impassioned and feeling defensive? I feel like if you were to have this conversation here with this person, there would be decapitations, symbolically speaking. You would speak your truth without compassion. That's how I was raised, but, you know, teachers and lawyers, raised by teachers and lawyers. So that Four of Swords is really directing you still within, and since you're coming from the Scorpio card, right, the Queen of Cups, Helen of Troy here, really keeping your space, keeping your silence, trying to keep yourself really in alignment here to really sense, do I jump with this Fool card, or am I being tricked? Is this another bait and switch? Liz Phair just put out a song, a new album. I love Liz Phair, called The Game. Check it out. When people change the game, right? Like overnight, all of a sudden, game change. Like, how dare you, right? Bait and switch. So, yeah, well, vampires, you know, they're all like sexy and good looking, coming to the front door. Then you invite them in, and then they show up at the bedroom window, don't they? And then they drain your shit and put you in thrall. Sorry, I'm having a True Blood flashback. Just bring me a Skarsgård. I'll be okay. I'll just be okay. Just send me a Skarsgård. I'll even take the father at this point. Please, my gods, I love this. I love this. It's like you're being returned to your innocence, your purity, your virginity, since this is the maiden card of this. I don't mean literally. I mean really tapping into that part that cannot be drained, right? The happiness. Even Course in Miracles says, happiness is a decision I must make, but vampires bite you in the throat to steal your power of choice. Martyrs do the same, interestingly enough. So please, what does this look like on the inner? Oh, sorry, on the outer. Two of Pentacles. You're not budging. You are not budging, you're juggling. You're going to hold that center point and say, I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm ready to talk to you. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to keep connecting to source. Now, what else can I tell you about a priest or a priestess? Well, a lot of their day is in spiritual practice. My spiritual practice changes like weather and bloat. I'm mostly mutable signs, right? Virgo, Sun, Pisces, Moon, just that. So I can do the same thing several days in a row. I'm doing Course in Miracles, the workbook again, 365 lessons. But if suddenly something inside of me says, okay, you've done that for that, now go do this, I follow that, and I find that I am able to keep a balance instead of getting caught in dogmatic busy work. Right? So there's a juggling here. You really staying stable, center, keeping your energy field clear, and really being a vessel of the divine. Because what happens if a vampire bites a priestess? They're going to blow up. It's like biting the third rail. Bite the sun. Oh, hashtag bite the sun, vamp. I love my work. Can you tell? My hair loves it too. Dripping. My gods of water and the sign of Pisces. Let's do the staff here. We got the Six of Pentacles. Success. Internal success. Internal breakthrough. They may be limping, but they're finding their balance. And we've got really two balance cards here. The card of Justice jumped out. This is going to balance itself out one way or the other. You got balance with justice. You are learning how to balance the scales of justice here, right? How to no longer be drained. Now look, I'll be honest with you, and this is in that Vampires and Witches vid. Who else got the vampire, by the way? I thought the vampire came up in another one here. Resolving, storyteller, mentor, alchemist, victim, victor. Come on, where are you? I could have sworn there was another vampire in here. Nope, not seeing it. The lesson here is really understanding the energetic dynamics of what forgiveness is. Now, I don't mean the forgiveness we were raised with. That actually comes from the spiritual ego. Well, you did it, but I'm going to forgive you, right? You elevate yourself above them. Oh, you're so spiritual. That's the ego that's learned spiritual language. When you understand that the pain this person is in has nothing to do with you, and the pain that you're in has nothing to do with them, that this is happening for you both to deal with and heal your own pain so that this relationship can be transformed and upgraded, right? Everybody is going through this in some way, shape, or form, and sorry for those that aren't aware of it. I really do, because they're just feeling stuff they don't know why, right? Plus, if you're an empath, Pisces, I've never met a Pisces that wasn't energetically empathic, right? So, look, you're learning how to balance the scales here, how to do this honorably. You very well could tell them, no, I'm balanced within myself, I'm good. But I don't think that I think they might have been toxic before if this is a ex-lover, flash flood, Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde, karmic kerfuffle. But just keep your balance. I mean, you've got the two of Pentacles on the outer here. You're juggling the situation on the outer. And your lesson here in the 7th position is to move forward, even if it's slowly, even if it's under handicap, to really achieve justice in the outside world. So forgive them, they are in pain. I almost said forgive them, they know not what they do. The witch who speaks New Testament. Well, I haven't burst into flames yet, so I guess I'm okay. I am an archangel. Remember this? This is you really being kind of waiting, right? To deliver that forgiveness. And sometimes, forgiveness is just speaking the truth. I love you, but not one more drop. You will not steal one more drop from me. I love you too much. I want to be one less person in the world that you have to go back and deal with, that you vampired one way or the other, or martyred. So what does this look like on the outer, please? The 7 of Blades feels very much like self-protection, right? Particularly with the 7 of Wands at the core here. Self-preservation, kind of like waiting for them to knock on the door, text, right? Make the phone call. What does this look like on the outer? The World. This is the ending of something. The end of a cycle. You might very well be over this. Or, well, with that death card, the Phoenix and the outcome, you might be like, we've done this already. Are we going to move forward? Because I don't want to do this unless it's brand new. And if you are tricking me, you will regret it. I had a couple of friends say to me over the past month, they're like, Mal, you're really fucking scary. They hadn't seen me in a while. I'm like, good. It's called being empowered. Don't you project your fear power onto me. My whole life is about learning how to be empowered. It's true of all of us. So look, you're meditating on the inner, which certainly links to that 4 of Swords here in the crown, right? But with this World card, from the outside looking in, you're like, I've learned this. I have learned this. I am graduating from this. Whoever you are in this, you want to come up to the next level with me? Right? I'm ready to jump as the Fool. Will this martyr follow their star, follow their hope, their grace, their inspiration? Don't know. But with your destiny at core being about finding your own happiness, not dependent upon anything in the outside world, that's when you're free. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. I will be still an instant and go home. ACIM, BYB, EIEIO. Please, my gods, what does that look like on the outer? Page of Wands. I want to see, what was this other card that came out? Ah, Wheel of Fortune. I'll give you both. They're like, grab that other one. So yeah, a message is coming in that is going to move things forward. Who is this going to be from? Probably the martyr who's got the Wheel of Fortune inside of them. So it feels like this is not over. That there is still a lot to be gleaned and gained from this situation. Pages to me are not people. They are messengers, right? It can be anything. And I've never thought of the pages as people, right? That can be an email. That can be literally a written message, even a telepathic one. But if it's fire, it is about will and desire. I think you really want to work it out with this person. You're just not sure if it's a trap. It's a trap! Outcome? My gods, boy, because that wheel is moving forward with or without whoever's resisting. What's going on here with that Phoenix rising from the ashes? Total transformation, heart, throat, third eye crown. It's how I lost all my weight. Oh, go look at some of my old videos. Back from when I was teaching at the Silver Broom, I had a meeting with my podcast partner, Mal, today. And she's like, I saw those vids. Like, you were heavier. I'm like, yeah, I was 40 pounds heavier. Ministry, no thanks. Never again. The coming times, right? So that's how I lost the weight. Just the Phoenix transformation. Every time you rise from the ashes, just take a little less ash. Breathe. My gods, please. Last card of the tarot, and then we'll get a couple more on the table from an oracle and a healing system. That death card on the inner, what does this look like on the outer? Gotta be kidding me, the Lovers. Major life-changing decision, balancing the head, the heart, and the throat. We've got Hera, we've got Athena, and we've got Aphrodite, right? So Athena, the goddess of wisdom, the all-knowing mind. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, the all-knowing heart. And Hera, the queen of the gods who speaks the law, right? Because if you're not in alignment, let's talk about addiction. This is definitely something I learned from Carolyn Mason, as mentioned in my book, Words of Grace. Do you hear that? Who is that? That sounds like Sabby. I live with 3 little mini Black Panthers. It's always Wakanda forever around here. Look, guys, with the death card on the inner and the Lover's card on the outer, the decision is yours. Not the first time I've seen that in here. Just know that if you are the vampire wanting to leap into something new here, you could leap, but there are things that are going to be revealed as you go. I don't think they're necessarily deception. I think that all of this is going according to plan, not necessarily your plan, the divine plan. Path of true love, the course of true love never did run smooth. But as you heal, as you raise from the ashes, burning away the 3 atoms in lead that make it gold, periodic table, you're going to really, really see that I can make not just a head over heart decision or a heart over head decision, but one that is what? Balanced and aligned, just and fair, which does not say what you're going to do here. I have said to plenty of people, I love you dearly, but come as a king or don't come at all. Oh, I forgive you. I just never want to talk to you again. And that's a fair thing. Oh, I forgive you. I get you are in pain. Look, I had a boyfriend who was shooting heroin behind my back in my own house, and he died. And I didn't know about the heroin thing until like years later. A family member of his told me. I was like, so much for being clairvoyant. But now my boundaries are clearer, right? It's like they can't even cross the drawbridge to this witch's castle. So it does feel like if you play along here, really keeping yourself in alignment, yes, the decision will be yours. You will get to say, yes, I want to do this. No, I don't. But you're allowed to take a step without knowing what's going to happen, but I feel like your own fear is your part of this, your own lead, your own shadow, of being hurt again, of being lied to again. Now, I don't see necessarily that you are necessarily lying in this situation. You're playing your cards close to your chest. And if you are dealing with a martyr, that does make sense. You don't want to give them any opportunity to come for you, although they will anyway. But whether you stay or go or continue this, going to be all up to you. With that Wheel of Fortune, it's just ridiculous. This is the card of fate and destiny in the fate and destiny position with the sun on the inside. You do you. Be the sun, right? And if they come for your neck, just go, wah, and blow them up. I've done it. Sometimes I think the best curse that I know is to look someone right in the eyes and say, may you heal. Because what do you have to go through to heal, right? Oh, they're not kidding around. They saved the best for last. Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves, one for the vampire, one for the martyr. Please take a nice deep breath. This is a different vibe. The higher selves of all involved here for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, timeless true love read. Please, what is a piece of information, inspiration, or insight from the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above? First for this vampire, trickster on the inner, the fool on the outer. And for this martyr, Wheel of Fortune on the inner, the star on the outer. Guys, there's just too many major arcana cards on this table. I'll if I can remember, I'll do a count before I do the blessing at the end. This is definitely a true love read for sure. So please What's the message from the higher selves for this martyr? Wheel of Fortune on the inner, star on the outer. You love this. If you identify as the vampire archetype, remember, could be the hunter, slayer, healer. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks, and aren't you just? In the past, in the present, and in the future, kind of pulling back, right? Even here, right? Even here from the outside looking in, you're like, vigilant, but kind of over it, or at least finishing the cycle for yourself. So it is that thing. With this inflammation, with this fire inside, you need to rest. And I Pisces, we're good at that. Give me a couch and a remote control, right? I'm a Virgo. I'm very busy in my solar energy, but in my lunar energy, I just want cake, coffee, and TV, Netflix, and eat. But for this martyr archetype, and it's a divine family archetype, miracles and blessings, everything has its gift. And if you're identifying as this martyr, you might want to look into A Course in Miracles. Yes, I am doing it again in my life. I don't always bring it into my readings, though, unless they whisper it in my ear like they have been for you guys. Try a Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. It's a bit of a primer. Came out in the 90s. Disappearance of the Universe by Gary Renard, if you really want to blow your fucking mind. All I know is Ascended Masters show up on my couch out of nowhere. I'm calling the cops. That's why they don't come. Show up here, not here, right? Oh my God, there's a miracle here. Now, what is a miracle? It is alchemy, right? From a thought system based in fear to a thought system based in love, right? What is a prayer is the medium of miracles. Through prayer, love. Well, prayer is the medium. It's principle number 11. Prayer is the medium of miracles, a means of communication between creation and creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. So I feel like with the high priestess here, that the more whoever this is staying in that priestess purity, alignment, self, right? Keeping their balance, juggling it on the outside, not saying yes, not saying no, but really willing to do the work and move forward. There is a miracle here for you guys. And that's why I think love will win out, at least at the end of this reading, because something is rising from its ashes as the result of a loving, wise, empowered choice. I'm just not sure how that's going to play itself out. Whether it's love conquering within you in this relationship in both of you. So all I can give you right now is the last card down, the Healing Mantra deck card from Matt Kahn. Cannot recommend his videos enough. Matt Kahn, All for Love. His books are genius. He doesn't know me. I know him, not like friends or anything. He's a genius. And he understands codependent patterning. He talks about it in a lot of his stuff. Right, the 4 ego wounds, abuse, neglect, codependency, and loss. All of those can be in play here. So, breathe. Ascended Masters of True Love. This is the most intense of all of the readings. Of course it would be. Why wouldn't it be? Hit us Pisceans right where we live with a fucking vampire and a martyr. Please, what is the perfect healing mantra for whoever is watching this? That as they work this mantra with a willingness to heal, I'm thinking whoever's this high priestess in the future here, that will help them heal on, and maybe everyone involved here. For this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I'm watching this video, receiving this reading on this timeless path of true love. Celebrating simplicity. This is much simpler than you think, is what this is saying. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. And that is very true. Right? We think the more we do, the more we're going to be fulfilled. And before I even read the bookie book, which I will, I've had to do this mantra when I have been what? Inflamed, overworked, burnt out. Oh, there are birds out the window. How dare I interrupt? Motherhood. that to simplify things. Now, it doesn't mean you have to all of a sudden, like, you know, Marie Kondoing the house if you want to. Go for I live in a condo, so I Marie Kondo. But to do the mantra, if you do the mantra, it's going to give you that moment-by-moment guidance on how to do exactly what it's talking about, right? I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. When there are fewer details to manage, you are able to receive more joy. The more commitments that pile up in your life, the less likely you are to find the time to take everything in. God, that's why I'm only doing a couple of YouTube videos a day, because I was burning out and didn't even want to cook at the end of the day. I didn't have the creative energy for it. In other words, my YouTube career was draining me, and I had to make the change. Once all moving parts have been arranged in a proper working balance, Trixie Mattel, simplicity can be celebrated, right? So once you kind of get things more systemically aligned in your life, even your communications with this person, even your spiritual practice, simplicity, you'll really celebrate it. It's like, I've made this way too complicated for myself. And you glean the most benefit from your reality. That's really great. This mantra is ideal for creating stronger boundaries. Like, don't bite my neck, dude. Or dudette. Healing your inner people pleaser, Renfield. And finding moments of serenity. Now. I see you, Sabby. Leave those birdies on the other side of the glass alone. Whatever. This is an intense read, but I gotta tell you, you might want to save this one. Yeah, it's a timeless read, but you might want to check up on this one in a little bit, because right now, we've got the Fool and the Star here. Very promising on the outer. And on the inner, we've got some shadow work going on here, a little bit of the Devil card, and yet a turn of the wheel for this Martyr. But if the shadow work is being done here for both sides, this really looks like this transforms and becomes much simpler and easier to manage. And I feel like whoever you are, if this is you, this High Priestess in what's coming, the future card with this Two of Pentacles, you're doing exactly what this is, more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Well, I'm going to strip it down to its maiden purity. I'm going to strip it down to really what is of the essence of this. And yeah, maybe that is house cleaning, not my favorite thing. Or maybe it is just speaking the truth and saying, I love you. I would love to be with you, but I'm in no place to be with you right now, and I don't think you're in a place to be with me. Because I want to do this fairly. I do want to move forward. Six of Pentacles, I want this to be fair and balanced, and if you're not ready to do that, well, darling, I'm gone. And that's okay. That's okay. I love you. I'll cry my eyes out after you're gone. But since you've been gone, I can breathe for the first time, right? So if this is a toxic come around with a martyr or a vampire, celebrate the simplicity. Work the mantra. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Because I've been saying this to people for a long time. I didn't incarnate for you. I incarnated for everybody. You with me? It's like my spiritual path is way more important than you draining me. And if you let them drain you, how much energy you're gonna have left at the end of the day to do what you came here to do? Yeah. Please take a nice deep breath. My pantheons of the divine. May the entire Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I'm watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to become the best that they be, to walk with honor, to learn their lessons, to no longer be drained or be draining, either as the vampire or the martyr, that they may turn their lead to gold, embrace their shadow, transform themselves, walking the path of true love, so that not only do they heal individually, not only does this other person get to participate as one rests and the other one is experiencing miracles and blessings, but that as they do, we all heal. All of our codependent patterning and wounds start to unravel as those emotions come up and we heal them, understanding there is a difference between conditional false love and unconditional true love, the love of the divine within ourselves. That is certainly within somebody here, and it is time for it to be expressed, even if it is saying, I cannot be drained. Go ahead and try. I will fry you. if you do, without doing much, but speaking the truth. Because really, I don't play that game anymore. May they be so blessed, and may we all be so blessed that this codependent vibe that's been keeping us in chains for centuries, if not millennia, that we may break chains of illusion and set all things to right, reveal what has been hidden, and bring the truth, true love to light, for the well-being of all, with harm to none, as I will it, so let it be done. So mote be. And so it is. Jam with it. Hey, live alone. Love to do this. Look, what an intense read, my Scorps. Look, dolphin or shark, you get to choose how you want to swim through this. But by all means, comment below. Which one are you identifying with here? It's tricky, but use a pseudonym. And if you liked it, like it. If it helped, it helped. Like it. It helps other people find it. What, you think we're the only ones going through this? No. Let the cross-watchers see this too. Subscribe if you want more. Read my book, Words of Grace, if you really want some more in-depth on how to make yourself TNS, Teflon Neck Syndrome. And please let me remember to put in the description box, no, I'll put it in the comments, the Vampires and Witches lecture here on YouTube. If not, go look for it yourself. It's on my channel. Otherwise, really, what a pleasure to read. This is very alchemical, I think very healing, and fulfilled the prayer that I make before every reading I do. Mother of all, work through me and make this reading truly helpful, truly a blessing, truly healing for the well-being of all. Yeah, my honor, my pleasure, and what a kick-ass series, and certainly we saved the best for last. Wishing you all the very best on the path that you love. Hang in there. Hang in there. Hell. Go grab some garlic. Farewell, and blessed be.